Eau Rouge is one of those mythic corners. All the teams are lined up on that wall. Everybody's watching to see who's going to lift or who's going to carry the most speed through there. And for the drivers, you all know, you really judge each other because it's one of those measures of bravery. Long approach, you come out that hairpin, you make your gear changes, you get up to speed. You start hugging the pit wall, you try and get as much aerodynamic benefit from hiding behind the wall. But all you're doing the whole way down is measuring the car and getting yourself absolutely critically prepared for what's about to happen, because if you don't rock up to Eau Rouge with a very firm plan of what's going to happen, you land in trouble very quickly.
Hey guys, CRL Rosberg back at it again for another video. This time we're back for another race in AOR F2, this time for the Belgian Grand Prix. As you can see, I'm already showing you the results for the Belgian Grand Prix, for qualifying anyway. I didn't record my fastest lap. That's, well, I assumed I was going to be able to set my fastest lap at the end of the session, but the weather system decided to play a part, and it decided to rain, which was quite interesting. Despite the forecast saying it won't be raining, it rained anyway, so I mean, GG Codemasters, makes a lot of sense to be honest, when the game can't even predict what weather it wants. But we qualified P2, one of our better qualifying positions in quite a while, behind our teammate Infamous Clays, so Mercedes won 2. Clays, he won the last race at Hungary. Myself didn't have a great race, I didn't upload it, but hopefully we've seen it in the little, I don't know, montage I guess at the start. But just a quick thing to point out, Melanie, he's starting a little bit further down the order, you might have seen. We've got SSR Bobbert right on our arse, which is very interesting. We're going to have the championship standings We've been losing points to Merny, well, we've lost points in the previous round, but hopefully now we're starting a little bit further up the field than usual. Melanie, he's starting further down, usually it's the other way round, but hopefully now it's myself in P2. Clay's, he is slowly getting his way into the championship fight with a couple of good results, but now it's time to see what we can do from this position. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Belgian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. We get a fantastic launch. As any long-term viewer would know, we are the best at starts. It's also because of the pad, but I like an ego boost. We get around the outside of infamous Clay's. Bobbitson slips into P3, but he stays there. For everyone else, I don't know what's going on, but to be honest, first place probably isn't the place you want to be going down the Keppel straight. Infamous Clays is going to be in our slipstream. We're going to try and defend the position. We don't want to let these guys past, because I have no pace in the middle sector because I'm on the pad. Clays is on around, so we give him a bit of a squeeze. He's not going to be able to hold it around the outside into Lecom, and that is the race lead. There's yellow flags out. You might have seen a Haas spinning. That was VSR Dralix, the Germany race winner. He got tagged by VRT Verstappen. I'm not sure if it was desync or not, it could have been, but that's unlucky to see. He's also been closing in on the championship after his win in Germany. But we've held the lead on the first lap, downshifted to 6th gear through P1 because, you know, pad. And you guys might notice a pattern, me just complaining about the pad. We're getting into the second half of the season, and it's getting right on our ass. Second half of the season, it's not a. This game isn't a pad game. It's quite obvious, and myself being a pad user in a championship fight against wheel users, it's going to be a bit of a problem. But you know, Belgium middle sector were losing about half a second a lap, but you know, we only just about missed out on pole. We're leading the Grand Prix, so I can't complain too much. If we've got the pace, we've got to try and hang on. This is a bit of a fight, to be honest. As Infamous Clays runs out a little bit wide. My aim here is to try and break the slipstream. If I can break the slipstream for a couple of laps, that would be absolutely perfect for me. But after the first lap, we've held the lead ahead of Clay's. Bobbit's still in P3. It's a bit of a train. I'm not quite sure who's actually part of it, but it's going to be a bit of a trek throughout the field, I think. Belgium is a slipstream fest, you guys will know this. If you've seen or done a league race around Belgium, you guys know that literally if you can hang on to the slipstream, you're going to get pulled along. We did stretch Clays at a turn 1. That is something I had the advantage on. Maybe it was pad traction coming in again. My pace out of the crucial traction zones was very good, but rounding out lap 5, coming into the bus stop chicane, we're not going to pit this lap, but as you can see, Clays, Bailey and somebody else, I think whoever was part of that train, has all pit, and it's just myself and Franglish that kept going. I kept going because I knew that would happen. I knew that people were going to follow me in, and I didn't want to get held in the pits. Plus, the undercut isn't that powerful around this track, so I knew if I have a good in-lap, I should be alright. Franglish, he's following me around, he's going to have a slipstream as well, a slipstream with DRS, so he's going to be closing in on us, as you can see he actually does. But coming into the pits, don't hit the pit wall, or else that could be curtains. Coming into the pits, braking just in time. I got very nervous there, but I needed to take any sort of advantage I could. Into the pits, going to be setting on the medium tyres for the rest of the Grand Prix from lap 7 to lap 22. We should easily jump Franglish, and the plan is that we hold on to the lead. I think the rest of the guys were all held up in a little bit of traffic as well, which would have helped us. Clay's running into turn 1 right now. Are we going to hold the lead? Yes, we are, very comfortably. But they're going to have a bit of overspeed on us going into Upper Rouge and Radion and down the Camel Straight, so we should be alright. There's yellow flags out in front of us. That's LCR Hayden, who's had a bit of a nightmare. That's unfortunate for him. I'm assuming he just lost the car at the top of Radion and just completely lost it. And into the wall he goes, around where Kevin Magnussen crashed a couple of years ago with the rain, so I guess some things don't change. But as you can see, Clays is already on us. Our cold tyres at Lecom has done us no favours at all, and he is all over us, and this is what I mean about me having no pace in the middle sector. I was doing practice with Veloce Alonso, Veloce Surprise, Obvious Joe, CRG Evo, all those, and Restive, of course, my good friend. As you can see, hang on about the infamous Glaze goes around our outside. That is, not fairness, that's a phenomenal move, but wow, okay, I completely forgot that happened, to be honest. VRT Verstappen's right behind us. I'm going to get back to that point in a minute. This is actually a very good opportunity, which I think Clays was doing at the start of the race. It's lagging a little bit, but I think it's just the lobby, to be honest. This is what Clays, I think, was doing at the start. Saving your ERS and fuel when you're in the slipstream with another car. It's so beneficial in the third and first sector if needed. Even in the middle sector, you're already sticking into God anyway. But I knew I needed to be back in the lead at the end of this first sector, so we've got to get a good run out of here. We don't get a perfect run, it was pretty good. As you can see, we're trying to stay out of the slipstream because we don't want to be getting too much, but it turns out we've actually lost quite a bit. We're going up Radion and Rouge and Radion. We're going to be gaining quite a lot here. The slipstream uphill is quite enormous. We're going to be in the slipstream. DRS overtake and Rich Mix. To the outside we go, braking very late, hanging it around the outside. We should get the move done. Bit of contact is made, and Clays has slipped his way back through again, and Bailey's all over us. Clays, he goes to the inside to defend, but he's actually let us past. I mean, fair play. I think there was a bit of desync. I think on his screen we just about missed each other, but on my screen we've made contact, and we had a bit of an error, I guess, and he's let me back past, which, I mean, fair play, Clays. I didn't expect that. So teammates showing a bit of respect, I think, but Clays, we had a bit of a battle, I think. DRS slipstreaming each other, he was slipstreaming with me, and he's been overtaken by VRT Verstappen with Bailey, and Bailey's all over us now. We had a bit of a gap, but Bailey's closed in. You know, he's also on a wheel as well. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he's having a phenomenal race at the moment because he's managed to break away from Clays. And now we've got to defend. But again, to retouch on the subject I was on about earlier, when I was practicing with all the others, all my time was being lost in the middle sector, like half a second, 6/10. So I know they aren't, these guys in this tier aren't the same caliber of driving as them, but still, half a second, 4/10. It's still a lot. Anyway, Bailey, he's right on the back of us. He's going to use the slipstream with the DRS to try and drive around us. We're going to try and brake later, hang it on the inside. We're going to understeer a little bit. Bailey, he gets the move done, and he lags a little bit as well. But like he makes the move, and he's already pulling away from us. And he's lagging a little bit more. But this is not what I wanted. A wheel user getting ahead of me in the middle sector and pulling away, because you saw immediately out of the com section he pulled away straight away. I think he ran wide, which saved Pickens, to be honest. I don't think saving Pickens is actually the same, but I'm going to use it anyway. Well, what I realised was that slipstream round in the middle sector is quite beneficial, which I didn't quite expect. But actually cut that corner shockingly, as Bailey's lost the rear end again, and this is putting us in prime position to get the move done. We're going to go to the outside. He crashes into us there. I'm not quite sure what's going on. He's lagged forward a bit more, and he's turned into us, and now we're on the grass, just about surviving. But now Clays is back in front of us. Now this has gone absolutely tits up. I have no idea what happened. But as you can see at the bottom of the screen, VRT Verstappen has left the session. He had disconnected, which is so unfortunate. He was having such a great race, and it was going to be potentially a brilliant battle between us for the rest of the Grand Prix, but it's not to be. But now we can't focus too much on Bailey. We've got to focus on infamous Clays. We've got to try and get the move done on him. We can't let him get away. We're getting a lot of oversteer. We're going to the outside already. We're going to have the DRS, but we're not going to be in the slipstream, so we've got to pray that the DRS is enough. He's side by side with us into the brake, so it's going to be who can brake latest. It looks like we were latest on the brakes, trying to squeeze into the inside. We make a bit of contact again, and to the outside we are, and I think Clay's completely gave up on that. Yeah, that's really confused me actually. Yeah, okay, so everyone's got back. Well, now Franglish is part of the battle, which I didn't expect, to be honest. Yeah, that was a little bit odd. I think, again, that's just the game's physics. You make a little bit of contact, the car wants to drive you into the wall. And I think Clay's got a bit of damage out of that as well, which is really unfortunate. Clay's also was having a very good race. I think he said after he was lacking a little bit of consistency. But if Clay's got damage, as you can see, we're about a second and a half, I think, ahead of him. So we've got to use that to our advantage, which we did. And but it didn't matter because now Franglish is all over us. He was also, well, before the race, yeah, it was going to be a miracle if he was on the podium, he said. But here he is now fighting for the win. I did back off a little bit, trying to save a bit of fuel and a little bit more ERS, but I mean, Franglish now, he's all over the back of us. We're still putting it to high and rich, but here comes Franglish on our inside into Blanchimont, and he's got the move done. Wow, okay, so now, and he lags a little bit, that, I'm not going to lie, I jumped out of the seat when that happened, because I thought my race was about to get ended. He defends the inside, which is going to affect his run into turn 1. Well, throughout the little chicane, I guess. And now, we've got a battle on our hands. I can say, I was aware of the penalty situations. I can confirm I had no penalties, but I wanted to win the race on track. And Franglish did have a penalty, but where's the fun in winning the race when you're not actually in the lead? So we're going to use that to our advantage. We've understeered so much. I think I was just lazy driving, to be honest. But we're going to be in overtake rich, slipstream DRS to the outside. We're going to blast past Franglish into Lecombe. And now for Franglish it's going to be about trying to attack me back into the Blanchimont section, Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. He's going to be using that DRS, his slipstream. Well, no DRS actually into that section, don't know what I'm on about. He's going to be using rich fuel, overtake. He's going to be doing everything he can to hang on to the lead. As you can see, coming into the third sector, he's right behind us. We're in hot lap into overtake now. Rich mix, we're doing everything we can to hold on to the lead. It's going not much for Blanchimont quite yet. Here's Blanchimont, we're going to pass through a bit uphill, slipstream. He's right on the back of us, he's going to look to the outside. We're going to try and brake late, trying to squeeze him to the outside. Open up the steering a little bit so that we can cut him off. And on the exit, we've got the traction, and that is the race win. Our second win of the season, finally. After Bahrain. It's been a long wait, but finally we can see our little man lifting the trophy and kissing thin air. But there we go. Our second win this season. It took long enough, to be honest. Yeah, I probably should have won a race a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. As you can see, there are the standings from the race. Myself ahead of Franglish and Clays with his wing damage still to get P3. It's a great job. Mercedes won 3 as well. That'll do brilliantly for the constructors. Melanie from P10 on the grid to P4. A great recovery drive from him. Sam getting another top 5. Dralix after the spin. A brilliant comeback drive as well from him. Ferrer P7 ahead of X-Power. VRT Verstappen. Very unfortunate for him. I feel for him taking the lead and then immediately disconnecting. And Bobberts, no idea what happened to him, but he's down in P10. Championship standings, I don't have it on my screen at the moment. I'm going to have to put it there post editing, post commentary I should say. But we are 14 points I believe behind Melanie. 120 points I believe I'm on, so I think he's on 134. Closing in, to say the least, which is what we need to help us in the long run. Not many races left in this season, so the more podiums and the more we can beat Melanie, the better for us in the long run. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new for more league racing content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Cheers.